How's it going, everyone? This is Goober. I'm just going to be doing a very quick tutorial today showing you how to make ladders in the Red Faction level editor. This will apply to either single player or multiplayer. In Red Faction, doesn't really matter. There is nothing different about ladders between the two modes. One thing that I do want to just say very quickly before we go into actual construction of them is that unlike some games where there actually is a relation between the visual and the functional aspects of the ladder, in this engine there is not. The visual aspect is just what you see, that's it, and the actual region that you climb in, which, no surprise, is called a climbing region, is entirely separate. So you can have an invisible ladder if you just have a climbing region next to a wall, or if you wanted to, really, I don't know why you would, but you could just have a visual ladder that you can't climb. It's really up to you. They're entirely separate. So, just to start out, I'm just going to make a small room here to put our ladder in. Then I'm going to put a ledge here that we are going to climb up to. So first thing, go into object mode. This is how we're going to create the climbing region. All we're going to do here is create a climbing region object. I'm going to hit Control G to align it to grid, hit O to reorient, though I didn't need to here because it was already oriented. And this is our region. You can go into the properties here and edit it. I'm just going to set this to 7 because that's 6 meters. Align it with the floor. A good rule of thumb is that you want to have at least 1 meter of your climbing region above the landing that you need to climb to. The player is going to need to climb up a little bit over that to actually be able to get up there, so 1 meter should be plenty. One thing I forgot to mention in the properties here is that you can select between two different types here. You can select either a ladder or a chain link fence. There's no functional difference between these whatsoever. The only difference is the sound that plays when you're climbing on them. This sounds like a ladder. This sounds like a chain link fence. No surprise there. We're just going to stick with ladder for right now. So now that we have our climbing region, this is perfectly functional. So I'm just going to save this and we will test. Ladder test. Yes, I did this before. Create a pack file. Play our level. Let the recording catch up. There we go. And our ladder is right here. Go up to the wall, hold space. I can climb up. There we go. Have a functional ladder. I'll just mention this very quickly. Wait, what? What was the command again? Debug. Oh. You can type the command in Dash Faction debug push _climb _reg, R-E-G, and this will show you the bounding boxes for your climb regions as well as push regions in game. So if you're ever curious, you want to see what the bounds are, you can do this. There you go. All right, so back into the editor. Now, let's make a visual to accompany this. So I'm going to show you two ways to do this. One is going to result in a ladder very similar to the ones that Volition used in the game, and the other one is going to be a fully custom-made one. So for the fully custom-made one first, I'm going to create a new brush. It's going to be 6 meters high, 0.125 wide, and 1 deep. I'm going to match this up with my climbing region here. Match it up with the floor. There we go. Airbrush, create brush, set to is detail, hit update, hit build. Now we have a brush here on the edge. I'm going to go to texture mode. First things first, because the back face here against the ledge and the bottom is never going to be visible. For optimization, I'm going to put an invisible texture on every face in my brush. Then I'm going to start texturing only the faces that the player can see. So the front face here, I'm going to go to grading, find my ladder texture here, apply map. As you can see, it's unaligned. So go into UV unwrap, move that over a little bit. Oh, just to mention, sorry. Go into UV unwrap, drag a box over all of the vertices here to select them, then hold M and you can move them around here. So I'm just going to align it so that my ladder is properly aligned. Hit apply, build. Now we have our ladder. Now I am going to also just texture the sides and the top of the ladder so that they're not invisible. We can just use the, yeah, sure, ladder 03, that'll work. All right, so save, create a pack file, go in game. Here we go. So now we have a visual for our ladder. same thing, go into it, I can climb up. There you go. That's as easy as a ladder needs to be. Back in the editor, and I'll show you the second method. So, first off, I'm going to go into group mode. I'm going to select my climb region and my brush from my old ladder, delete them. Don't need them anymore. Hit load here, and I'm going to find my Volition groups. So Volition, back right after the game's release, they released a set of groups, which are basically just prefabs that they used in the creation of the game. There's a whole lot of stuff included in this, you know, different caverns, different rooms, sinks, spires, skyboxes, a whole bunch of stuff. There's some pretty cool stuff if you want to go in and look. I'll put a link to download all of these groups down in the description for this video, but for right now, we're just going to be focusing on the ladders here. So these are listed by the height of the ladder. So we have a 12-meter one, we have an 8-meter one, we have two variants of a 4-meter one. I know that we need to get up 6 meters, so I'm just going to select the 8. It loads in over here, move it. Same thing as before, I'm just going to align it in the same place that my previous ladder was. Obviously, because this is 8 meters high and my the distance I need to travel is only 6, I'm going to have to put it down through the floor. I am going to come in here and delete the rungs that go down under the floor and the one right on the floor, just because that looks a little weird. You can, if you want to, shrink these brushes so that they don't go down through the floor, and adjust this climb region so that it doesn't go down through the floor. Realistically though, to be honest, unless you have something below this in your map, like you get a different room down here, you might want to care about that, but we don't, so I'm just going to leave it alone. It's not harming anyone to just be going down through the floor. Build, then save, then create pack file, play our map. Here we go. So here is our ladder. This is a Volition style ladder, same as the ones used in the base game. So as you can see, they have physical ladder rungs. There's also an invisible face that I'll show you in the editor in 2 seconds. That is on the front of the ladder here, so you don't get stuck on the rungs as you're going up and down. So if you want to use a Volition style ladder, that is a route that you can take. And again, I will put all of the, I'll put a link to download the Volition groups that include all of those ladders in the description below. And yeah, so there's the invisible face that is in front of the ladder. Anyway, hope this tutorial has been useful. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or anything on this, or anything else to do with level editing in this game, please do drop by the workshop channel in the Faction Files Discord. There is a link at the bottom of this video, and there will also be one in the description. Myself or somebody else there would be happy to give you a hand. Anyway, until next time, see you later.